By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use Airtable tables to organize your data like a pro, from understanding the core structure to filtering, sorting, and creating multiple views. Airtable combines the simplicity of a spreadsheet with the power of a database, making it perfect for everything from project tracking to inventory management. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe, and let's get started. We'll begin with step 1, opening your base. A base in Airtable is essentially a file or a project container that holds all your tables and data. When you log into your Airtable account, you'll see your workspace, and here you can either create a new base from scratch using a blank template, or you can start from one of the many pre-built templates Airtable offers. For this tutorial, go ahead and open any base you have, or click the plus sign to create a new one. Once you're inside, you'll see a table already waiting for you, and this is where the real work begins. Now, step 2 is all about understanding the table structure. This is crucial because Airtable tables look familiar if you've used Excel or Google Sheets, but they behave a little differently under the hood. Each column in your table is called a field, and each row is called a record. Think of fields as categories of information you want to track, like task name, due date, or status. Records, on the other hand, are individual entries, a specific task, a contact, or an inventory item. This distinction is important because it lets Airtable treat your data as a relational database, meaning you can link tables together later. For now, just get comfortable with the idea that columns are your headers and rows are your actual data points. Moving on to step 3, adding fields carefully. This is where beginners often make their first mistake, so pay close attention. When you click the plus sign at the top of a column to add a new field, Airtable will ask you to choose a data type. These aren't just labels. They define what kind of information that column can hold. For example, if you're tracking dates, choose the date field type, and Airtable will give you a handy calendar picker. If you are marking something as complete or pending, choose the single select field type and create your options. A common pitfall is using a text field for everything, but that robs you of Airtable's smart features. The right data type enables sorting, filtering, and even automatic color coding later. So take a moment to think about the nature of your data. Is it text, a number, a date, a checkbox, or a drop-down? Let that guide your field type selection. Step 4 is adding records, which means entering structured rows. To add a record, simply click the Add Record button at the bottom of your table, or you can start typing in the last empty row. Each record should be a complete, self-contained entry. For instance, if you're tracking tasks, one record might include the task name, the person assigned, the due date, and the priority level. The key here is consistency. If you leave fields blank to run reliable sorts and filters later. Also, keep an eye on data type. If you've set a field to number and you try to type text, Airtable will give you a warning, helping you maintain clean data from the start. Now, step 5 is simple but often overlooked, resizing columns for readability. When your data is cramped or cut off, it's hard to scan. You can resize a column by clicking and dragging the edge of the column header, just like in a spreadsheet. Make sure you leave enough space so the longest entry in that column is fully visible. This small habit makes your table much easier to work with, especially when sharing with others. There's no formula here, just resize until everything looks clean and accessible. Step 6 gets into real data control, sorting your data. Click the small arrow in any field header and you'll see a sort option. You can sort alphabetically, numerically, or by date, either ascending or descending. Sorting is perfect for prioritizing tasks by due date or ranking items by importance. What's great in Airtable is that sorting doesn't change your data. It just reorders the view temporarily. You can even add multiple sort conditions, like first sorting by priority, and then by date within each priority level. This gives you a powerful way to surface what's most important at a glance. Step 7 is filtering data, which lets you show only the entries that meet specific conditions. Again, click the field header arrow and look for the filter option. You can filter by values, dates, or even text that contains a certain word. For example, you could show only tasks that are in progress and also have a due date that is today. This is incredibly useful when you have a large table and you only need to see a subset of records. Just remember that filtering doesn't delete anything. It just hides records temporarily, so you can always come back to the full list. Step 8 is grouping rows, a visual organizational feature that Airtable handles beautifully. To group, go to the Group section in the toolbar and select a field. For instance, if you group by status, Airtable will divide your table into sections for not started, in progress, and completed. Each group appears as a collapsible section, which helps you see the big picture quickly. Grouping is especially useful when you want to focus on a category without losing sight of the entire dataset. It's like having an automatic organizer for your rows. Step 9 is freezing important columns. When you scroll horizontally across a wide table, you can lose sight of key information like the record name or ID. To prevent this, hover over the line between two column headers and you'll see a small gray bar. Click that bar and the columns to the left become frozen, staying in place while you scroll. This is a lifesaver for tables with many fields, and it works just like freezing panes in a spreadsheet. Make sure to freeze the columns that give context to every record, so you're never lost in your data. Finally, step 10 is using multiple views. This is one of Airtable's most powerful features. In the top left corner, you'll see a tab for your current view, probably called Grid View. You can create multiple views of the same table, each with its own sorting, filtering, grouping, and even field visibility. For example, you might have a team view that shows only tasks assigned to your team, grouped by priority, while a client view shows only completed tasks without internal notes. To create a new view, just click the drop-down next to the view name and select Create New View. You can choose from Grid, Calendar, Gallery, or Form views, depending on how you want to interact with the data. This flexibility means you never have to shoehorn your data into one layout again. To wrap things up, you've now learned how to use Airtable tables from the ground up, opening a base, understanding fields and records, adding data with care, resizing, filtering, grouping, freezing, and creating multiple views. The benefit here is that you can now organize complex information without losing control, whether you're managing a personal project or collaborating with a team. As a next step, try linking two tables together using a linked record field. That's where Airtable really starts to shine. If you ever need a refresher, just come back to this video and I'll be here to walk you through it again. Thanks for watching and happy organizing.